Last time we were discussing Harley-Davidson, we were talking about the history of Harley-Davidson, and it's a tractor! No, it is in fact an old 1929 JD, and it's moved on considerably since then. Just how much?
Well, let's go and have a look at the new model, shall we?
Fantastic. Yes, please, yes, please.
Okay, well, let's start at the baby of the range. We've got the Sportster 883 Hugger, 883 cc's. Lowered suspension and a much lower ride height. There is another model from that, which is the one you've been riding, Diane, which is the standard 883, which has basically the same chassis but with the normal ride height suspension.
I like the Hugger.
Yes, I know you do.
But there wasn't one in when I wanted to try them. Never mind. What's next?
We move on to the 1200 Sport, which is the one of the 1200 family. Again, same Sportster chassis. Same 5-speed gearbox, basically the same engine, but it's just got a bigger bore, which brings it out to 1200cc. And this is the sport version, which has got the adjustable suspension, twin clocks, different seat, adjustable rear suspension. The other 1200 Sport is the custom, which is basically the same, but a customised version with a 21-inch front wheel instead of a 19-inch front wheel, etc. So if we move on from there to the big twin range. We're moving into the next part of the range, which is the Dyna, which is this one here. And this is actually a Dyna lowrider. The Dyna is now moving up to the 1340cc engine with a 5-speed gearbox and a rubber-mounted engine and gearbox.
So, I would think it would have to be.
Well, not necessarily. As I say, we move on and on into the range, you'll find that the Dyna and the touring models are the only two models that are rubber mounted. The rest of the range is actually still rigidly mounted like the old bikes.
Hardcore.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Very similarly built. So as I say, this is rubber mounted, 3040cc, and there are various versions of this. So there is actually a budget entry model at about 9,500, which is the budget entry big twin model.
Yes, I have a girlfriend in America who has one of these lovely babies. This is the Softail, yeah?
That's right. This is the Softail Custom, which is a member of the Softail family. Now, the reason we call it a family is because, as with the Dyna, you have a different chassis. So the Softail has got an old-fashioned looking rigid chassis. I mean, actually, the suspension is laid down flat underneath, so that the rear end looks like it's rigid, but it's not. It actually moves. It's got suspension. And here we have the 1340cc engine again with the 5-speed gearbox, but this time it's bolted rigidly to the frame, as is all the Softail family models. And within that family you have the famous Fat Boy with the solid wheels, the Heritage Classic, the Springer, etc. Basically different versions on a theme.
Okay, and finally, if there is a finally?
And finally we'll move over here to the touring models.
Where a woman should be, pillion, not in your life. What are we on now?
We're on the top of the range, which is the Ultra Injection, which is the top of the range touring model. On this you've got CB radio, you've got stereo, 4 speakers, really comfortable seats, full fairing on the front, air suspension, luggage capacity coming out of your ears, literally. And you can just keep adding to this as well. I mean,
so where's the jacuzzi?
Yes, exactly. Well, if you wanted to fit one, there is space in the back.
I bet you know. I bet they've done it as well.
I bet there is someone who's done it. I guarantee it.
Sad, isn't it?
Anyway, the other members of the touring family, you have the Road King, which is basically a stripped-down version of this. There's the FLHT, which is basically a budget version with the fairing, and the Classic, which has the radio but not quite the same high spec as the Ultra.
Yeah, it looks big enough for my suitcase. I'll have you know I do travel very lightly. You know, jeans, t-shirt, that's all I need. Toothbrush, credit card, the list goes on. Anyway, where are we going to go?
Well, how about a nice cruise down to the Florida Keys on a nice poker run?
Yes!